Hi everyone, welcome to Naresh YouTube channel. Have you ever wondered what is the one feature that's been taking most of the users into the websites? That is carousels. Let's see it here. What is a carousel? You see here Naresh website where we have in a search a carousel showing our courses. We provide the data science course and we provide the courses, multiple courses regarding Java, Python and DevOps. You go to the e-commerce website such as Amazon. Imagine Amazon is having some sales. Amazon is having sales the live now, and you see they show the sales in the slider. You go to the Flipkart, they show a brand, they show their products in a slider. You go to the Tata Click, they show their items in a slider. So all these particular websites, they show search a content in carousels. Carousels attract the users most. Now today we are going to learn how to make carousel using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. You will understand each and every bit, and in case if you are having it any questions, pin it in the comments. Let's start here. I'm doing it everything in the Visual Studio Code. Let's open the Visual Studio Code. Let's open a specific folder where we can have our HTML CSS JavaScript. How to make carousel using HTML CSS JavaScript. Let's start here. I'm just having a simple index.html, index.cs, css, index.js. You can have it any names you like, it doesn't matter. So go to the HTML, start a simple HTML, have the CSS, link CSS and have it some JavaScript to be linked. Once you connected your HTML, CSS, JavaScript, our goal is to create a slider which is similar to the Naresh IT one. How do you do that? Let's start here. First, I'm going to take a div which is having class name carousel, and having it inside this, I'm going to have it like carousel inner, which contains the inner elements of a carousel, and I'm going to have it two buttons where I'm going to have the buttons like previous and next. Let's have buttons such as button carousel preview, button carousel next, carousel next. So basically these things we are just using it whenever someone clicks on this next button, next particular slider will come, next image in the slider should come. Whenever someone click on the previous button, previous image on the slider will come, and inside this carousel inner we are going to put the images as it is. If you observe it here, we are just cloning this particular one. Here we are having three images. The images were sliding. You can see in the slider 1, 2, 3. These three images were in a loop. How do you make it three images here? So first I am creating each carousel item. Let's have three items here. 1, 2, 3. Each items will have an image. For example, let me have the images. I have all these three images. You can just have the images from respective websites, or you can make it your own images from the Canva. Let's start here. Image. I'm having the image. Again, I have an image. Let's have the image. Yeah. So basically I just take it here three slides and three images. Each one is inside carousel item, and all these carousel items were inside carousel inner, and we are having two buttons. I hope till now it's clear. Let's see here, go live. Until now whatever we have done, what it is working now. If you see the website clearly on the 100% screen, here I have actually three images. But are they coming in the same spot? No, they are coming one after the another one. So I want all these three to come in the same spot so that I can swipe it up by clicking the next button or the previous button. Here you can see the buttons. I forgot to write it here inside the next. You can see it here. See? Next one. Let's go here. I want them all of them in the same place. So I will go to the CSS. Let me have a simple CSS. I will have carousel. Complete carousel will be position relative, having height 600 pixel, width 800 pixel, with a margin of 40 pixel and auto. You can see it here. They are just coming on a sidebar. You can just see because they are having some kind of width and height issues. So let me just stop the width. Maybe they are having the issue with this width. Yeah. Now they are fine. Now next, all I want is inside this, each carousel inner will be also position relative and having height 100%, width 100%. Next, each carousel inner, in case if it is something overflow is there, I don't want it any overflow, so better overflow is not there, hidden. Next, inside the inner we have carousel items. How do you do it? Each carousel item. So I will do it like carousel items. Dot represents a class. We are going to have here position absolute. The moment you give position absolute, each one will go at the back of another one. You can see it here. Now can you see it here, 3 images? No, all are in the same position because position absolute will go in the same position, one behind the another. All 3 are in the same position, so you can't see it. And also I will say top 0, left 0. You can see it here. And then you can also say it here, display none. So the moment you say display none, none of them will be visible. All will be automatically not visible. Can you see only previous and next were there, none of the other things were there. So I wanted like to make them visible. In case if any of the carousel item is having a class name active, then automatically here show them as display block. So the first one I will make it as active class, and automatically you can see here only the first one will be visible. With only the first one is visible, and you can see it here. Next one. Whatever the previous buttons, and previous buttons will be carousel preview. You can see it here, carousel preview, the class names, yeah, carousel preview. Let's go here, let's have it here. I will say top 50%, left 60 pixel. So you can see here it will be okay, it's not visible because it's behind this, so it should be z index 100. Now next one, same thing, I will just go here, carousel next, carousel next, where I will have right side. Let's have it here, position absolute, position absolute. You can see previous and next were coming, but you can't see the any other slides. You are having only previous there, you are having only next there, you are having only first image. The moment you click on the next button, second image should come. The moment you click on the previous button, previous image should come. How do you make that to work? Go here, index.js, let's have it in a JavaScript. Now each one is inside carousel item. So carousel item is the block for each and every slide. I'm just taking it here, const carousel items is equals to document dot query selector all. You can use query selector all to select all the items. I'm just selecting it all the items with the class name carousel item. So I'm just getting it all the carousel items here. Let me take it all the items. Yeah. Okay. So total 3 items were taken inside the carousel items. It will be an array of node list of 3 items, and I'm having it current index, const current index is 0. Initially current index is 0. So if current index is the 0 1, 0 index, whatever the image is there, it should be shown. If current index is 1, then whatever the first one should be shown. If current index is 2, whatever the second one should be shown. Okay, that was a basic logic. Now first, if anyone clicks the previous button, const prev button is equals to document dot query selector. I'm just taking it here, previous button. If anyone selects the next one, const next button is equals to document dot query selector. So I will just write it here, next button. So I just take it here, all the buttons. Oh sorry, it's not next button, it's carousel next. Carousel next. So here initially whatever the index, for example if I give index 1, first image should be shown. If index is 0, 0 index image should be shown. If index is 3, third index image should be shown. So first we should write a function that to show the slide, show slide, which will take it a current index, certain index it should take, and it should print that whatever the logic is there. Okay, logic to print slide image based on index. So I will call this particular one basically show slide current index. Initially it should show the 0th one, anyway it is showing the 0th one. Now next, if anyone clicks the previous button, I didn't write the logic for to showing it, but I'm just writing it like imagine that particular logic is there, how the previous button will control it, how the next button will control it. At the last moment we will just write the logic for showing a slide. How the previous button will control. Previous button dot add event listener, in case if anyone clicks this particular button, automatically we'll call a function. Inside this function, I'm just decreasing this current index. But what is the current index initially now? 0. So 0 minus, it would be minus 1. So you can't find the index for minus 1. So you should check this condition. If current index is less than the 0, you shouldn't make it. In that case, if current index is less than the 0, make it current index is equals to total carousel items dot length minus 1. In case if you are making 0, 0 minus 1, minus 1, so you should not take minus 1. Instead, total how many elements were there? 3. In 3 elements, last index is 2. So whenever 0 is there, again if you click previous button, it should go to the last one. Okay, like a circular loop. I'm just making it, current index is there, and here I just need to call show slide of current index. The same logic will be applied if anyone clicks the next button, dot event listener. Here I need to click, automatically I will call a particular function. Inside the function, I will just write it here, current slide index plus plus. If it is already more than, for example, if my current slide current index is greater than carousel items dot length minus 1, if total elements were 3, that means the last index is 2. Imagine I'm getting 3, there is no third index, so you can't print the third image. In that case, what you will do, sir, here I will write current index will be 0. So it's like the exact opposite of the previous one, I'm just writing it, but basically it will call the same method, which is show index, show slide. So basically you just write the logic for all, only the logic you need to write is showing that particular slide. Imagine I gave second index slide should be shown. If I give first index slide should be shown. How do you do that, sir? All you have to do is take a for loop, let I is equals to 0 initially, I less than carousel items dot length. So it will go until the length of that particular items, and I will go plus plus. Every time what you will do, you have to remove, first thing you have to do is you have to remove each and every element active. If you see here, for example, second index I want to show, already 0 index active class name is there now. Whatever the element which have active class name, that only will show. Already 01 is having active, so you should remove that active. After removing the active, you should add it. So I am just checking first one, is it having active or not? Yes, remove it. Second one, is it having active or not? No, so chhod do. Third one, is it having active or not? No. If it is having active class, remove that. The first thing I am doing it like making it remove. So carousel items of I index dot class list dot remove class name active in case if it is there. So now after this particular one is run, in all carousel items there is no active class, all active classes will be removed. Now take that particular index one, carousel items of index specifically, that particular index one, add the class list, class name as active. Automatically active will be added there. Let's see here, let's see our logic, where you see it here, a slider of images were there. When I click here, next, so here let's see, inspect console, assignment to a constant variable 26, current index we declared it as a const, which should be let, because current index will change. If I click here previous, can you see here images were changing? If I click here previous, it's changing previous one. If I click here next images were changing. Whenever you are changing, you can even give some kind of transition, going from translate X, going from some kind of transition you can give. Whenever it is moving from one place to another place, just give it some kind of transitions and animations which will work it exactly like this particular sliders. See here, you can even automate it. Sir, I don't want to click, I can just go for a particular one. You can even automate this using set timeout or set interval. You can just put it in a set interval. Inside the interval, you can just call a particular function, which each one some 3000 seconds. For every 3000 seconds, what you will do, you will just increase the current index. Plus plus. So I am just writing it here, the same logic of this, I will just write it here, increase the current index each time. I am just clicking the next button multiple times indirectly. See here, if you see here, for every 3000 seconds, automatically it will only slide out, you don't need to click anything. Okay. The great sliders will bring good kind of users into your websites. Like for example, see these websites where sliders actually brings some unique features into the websites. You can also create this kind of sliders and in the future classes we will show it like how to create these kind of 3D sliders which brings something unique into your website. That's it for today. Thank you all.